Yo! Oh, wicked! Let's rock! Oh, cool. Yes, this is an odd time to come in, and I know you're probably thinking, why? Why is he here now? This doesn't make any sense at all. This is not. Basically, I had a proper eureka moment, and it's not going to look super interesting, but I need to try and create, because basically I was stuck last episode. I was really stuck, and I couldn't work out how to do something. And so I actually created an entire script to try and recreate the problem, because the actual thing that I wanted to do was recreate this hypothetical problem that happened, and I couldn't do that. So that is our plan for today, right? Our plan is to actually show the problem, work out how I solved it, and then we're going to actually fix the actual code that's going to be in the game with this new bit of information. So what I've done, I've got this test scene. Where have we got it? So I don't know if this is how most people do it, but I've got this scene called test scene, which I always go to this scene whenever I want to test various different things out, which sounds kind of like traditional and boring, but it's just anytime I'm looking to try something new, I normally chuck it in here. Right, so that's, I thought I would just explain that before we continue. So I made a save addy trial script, right? I wanted to work out how to add extra stuff. So let's see if we can go as far as explaining exactly where the problem lied. Okay, so I am going to quickly green out all of this. All right, anything where it says int array, we're going to just get rid of, okay? So, Control KC, get rid of that. In fact, let's go get rid of all this, because I want to kind of check that it works as well. You know, what was it just a miracle when it worked? And then I'll explain what's happening. Okay, all right, we've greened out all of everything that says int array. All right. So what I've got here is we have created a mono behavior class that we've called save addy trial script, right? And the purpose of this is to save some phony data that we don't need, but I needed to get an experiment around, all right? And we have this test data class with some variables in it, which is a boolean, an integer, a float, and 2 strings. I don't ask why there's 2 strings. This was part of my experimental process. All right, but we the purpose is what I wanted to do was save this, work out a way of saving all of this data and loading it, right? And what happens, to break it down quite simply, is when you save the game, it's creating something new and it's setting all of the data values to this. It's setting all the data values to whatever you want it to set it to. And I've got a little thing here, S, L and R, save, load and reset, and it will set things. There is a good reason as to why I'm doing all of this. Right, so and I've also got this little folder over here. Right, this was the folder that I was looking for as well. Right, I don't know what this this does mean something. I don't know what this is, but basically this whole folder here that we're looking in, this is where the save data is. All right, so this Rumpletown data is actually the save data of the game. All right, this test data is my phony kind of made up data stuff. So if I press play now. And actually, no, let's do one better. I should have actually... we're going to go click here and we're going to delete this one. Okay, all right. Just so we know that the test data that's going to be saved currently isn't there. Okay. Let's see if I can move this over. Not letting me move it. Okay, right. So now I'm going to press play. All right. And when the only time you ever, if you think about it, the only time you really ever need the load function is when you're starting a game. So let's just say this is a fresh new start of whatever this is, and I'm going to press L. I was clicking on the wrong thing. It didn't seem to work. Oh, no, it worked. Everything was fine. All right, so I clicked L, and this test data is now here. All right, and now if you look, Windows, what are you playing at? All right, I can't seem to comfortably get this on the other side, but we have this. This is our friend here now. Right. Now, what I actually did, if you look at the code, we've got reset. Right. So when I press L to load, it's saying, does this particular data exist? Right. If it does, do a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't. So instead, it's going to reset. Right. And it's setting all these values to like generic ones, so that's true, 10, 10, Chaps and Graham. All right, and then it's saving the game, and then it's going, it's doing all of this stuff where it's saving it. So it's now assigning all the data that we have got into. So where we've got data, this is like our save file essentially. So it's saying set all the data to there. So if I stop now and press play. Now, even though it's going to kind of, the values are still going to be the same, we're loading, we're actually loading from the file, all right? So now, I'm going to, say, change this one to, I don't know, 50, all right? And Chaps, man, yeah, Graham Chapman, yeah, we all know him. We've all watched Monty Python, we know the guy. Okay, right, I'm going to change it to that, and now I'm going to press S to save, right? Now, let's just say I move this down to 668, and then this one to 1111, and Graham to Graham with an exclamation mark. Right, now if we press L to load, oh no, hold on, no, I need to actually now click on the game. If I press L to load, it resets it back to the original values. Hold on. Okay, right, let me try once more. So 50. Oh, and then you've got to go on here to press S. Sorry, yes, that's what I mistake. So I'm going to press S now, and then you can change this to whatever you want. So 600, 232, and then click on here and press load, and it will go back to the original values. Okay, all of that is quite simple. It's not actually anything too complicated. This is just essentially how saving and loading works, right? So there's no problems so far. Now, the big issue that I had was what if I wanted to add a new variable? So let's just call this one public bool, and it's going to be called bool2. Okay, and we're going to have public bool2. All right, now if we were to add upon loading, we're looking to have, so this is your main script that we're going for. So we want to set bool2 to equal data.bool2. Brilliant, right? And upon saving the game, we want to set data.bool2 to equal bool2. But now we can do something a little bit spicy here. It doesn't sound that spicy, but we're going to go bool2 equals true. Okay. All right. So the issue that I thought was going to occur would be when we're loading, which is going to be like the opening thing to happen, right? We press L to load, and it's going to go over here. So we're going to do the load game. It's going to check to see if this exists, in which it does, right? It's then going to get to this bit saying this bool2, which is currently just blank because we've only just started the game, we're going to set it to the data in here. But my test data class, the one that we have currently, this doesn't even exist, right? So I'll show you what happens, and it's quite underwhelming, but I thought if I pressed L now to load, it was going to throw out an error message, all right? But instead, it just defaults to, so I think with each variable type, there is a sort of default. So with both integers and floats, it defaults to 0. With booleans, it just defaults to false, so not the tick in the box instead of having a tick in the box, right? And I thought that was where my problem lied. I thought the moment it tried to load it and it couldn't, it was going to throw out an error message, right? And I was properly tearing my hair out trying to get to the bottom of what's wrong. However, right, now I greened out a bunch of stuff earlier, okay? And I'm going to ungreen it now, okay? So bear in mind, our current data has all of this, and it's just created this one on the fly, so now this is part of the data. This is technology for you, it just does it without too much problem, okay? Alright, let me go get rid of all of this green stuff here, and then I'll explain roughly what's going down. Oh yeah, so Control KU, yeah. Okay. I think that's okay. Right, so now we have added a whole extra variable, which is an array of ints, okay? And so so this test data is here, that's fine, right? We're gonna press play, okay? Now I'm gonna load right now, okay? And here we go, null array. Right, so what I've actually done, upon loading, we've got hold of this data, and I've done a little check to say, is this int array equal to null, right? If so, then we're going to debug saying null array, right? This is, yeah, I've discussed it a bit on Discord as well, but the problem that we have is, right, now, and this is something which, like, I think I understand it, but I don't fully understand it, is there is a difference. So, like, essentially, in coding, arrays are, so where we have an int and we have those square brackets, that's essentially, whatever we call here, it means it's going to be an array of ints, right? So that means it can hold multiple ints in one go. Now, my default suggestion is what quite a lot of people would probably assume is, if you have an array of, if you've just kind of got a blank thing saying this is going to be an array of ints, you would guess that it would be, it would just, like, by default to begin with, it would just be an array that had a size of 0, but that is incorrect. That's actually where we're wrong. We are, sorry. So I actually, so I assumed that it would just create an array with 0. You know the way that I was saying before, that when it doesn't know what to assign it, like all the integers become 0, floats become 0, booleans become false. I think string just becomes an empty string, right? But int arrays, they don't just become a default array that has 0 elements. It actually is null. It is nothing, right? And it checks null here. So with that knowledge in mind, I just wanted to, if you press Q here, we have a for loop, right, where we're checking every element of this array. Now, my assumption would have been that it would just essentially have 0 loops in this thing and get on with its life. That is not what happens, right? If we actually, so we haven't actually saved or loaded anything, I don't think. So if I were to press, so we've now loaded it, and by there again, that looks like it's just an array that has 0 elements. It's not. It's actually a null array, which means it doesn't, it's like a nothing, right? So if I was to press Q, it basically says to do a for loop through here. You get this golden magical error message that I spent so long trying to get. And bear in mind, there's been a lot of time, like, I spent quite a lot of time trying to actually reach it. But this, I can't tell you how happy I am to get this error message, right? Because it's like, of course it is, because you can't have an array if you don't know, if it doesn't even exist, right? Or it does exist, it's just, it's pointing towards a null nothing. So there isn't even a length of 0, it's just a nothing, you know. Yeah, I had a friend of mine explained to me in electronics that if you have 0 volts going into something, that is very much a number. There are 0 going into it. That is a real number. That is not like, oh, well, there's no charge in it at all. No, no, no. 0 is a definite number of volts. Right. I won't go into too much more explanation because I can't, but this is a kind of similar problem in that you would think, oh, it's just going to be an array of 0 elements. No, it is a non-existent. Right, good. I'm so glad I got that off there. Right, so now that we actually know that, and we're going into our main thing, right, this is actually, so we can get rid of this, we can close all of this, we can now go into title save. Yeah, it's fine to save that. We can clear all this, and we can now save and load our data, which actually wasn't as difficult as it was. We don't need this scary area anymore. It is nothing to be scared about. We can just add this all the way up here, somewhere over here. Yeah, so I think it should be quite happily as a with his friends where he belongs, and we're just going to save and load this just like we had before. So or yeah, like we can if we're just adding a new thing. So this grand boy, let's go to this definition. Right, grand boy, get out of here. You're not needed. Right, it will create a bunch of error messages, which will hopefully help me just kind of point towards the things that I need. Right, so now Control X. I like to sort of bunch logical things together. So the fact that we've got the music and sound effects details together, that's why I'm sort of keeping it there. So that's all good. So that's upon saving. Now upon loading, I can't tell you how painful it was just not getting an error message when you really want an error message. But here we go. So this goes over here. And now I'm very confident that if anyone was to play this version now, even with their old data, they would be able to load it without any problem. And this one here, I just kind of want to put it over there. Okay. All right, so we are getting steps closer to, yeah, so I think at this point now, even though we're only like 20 minutes into the stream or something, I am actually quite confident and happy that, like, I'm actually ready for I'm ready, you know, when I'm thinking it's like my game does feel quite ready, right? The big things that we have left are, number one, there is no tutorial, and I was kind of umming and ahhing. I was trying to think how I can actually do a tutorial without it hurting too much because what a lot of people will do is when they're making a tutorial, they will, hold on, they're going to actually try and do like as though you're in the game and you're like, oh yeah, why not play this, right? And there's going to be sort of smooth, and it'll make you feel as though like, oh, I didn't even know it was a tutorial, I'm already playing. I'm not doing that. That's going to be that's far too much work. I mean, that really is. It's like if you actually, when it comes to game development, I think every bit. I think the most difficult part of every game that I've ever made is trying to put a tutorial together. So I've got a better system, and hopefully it will. I mean, a better system in my brain. I haven't actually done any of it yet, but this is. But we can actually start putting it together. So right. So for the time being, we actually want to turn all of this off. So, and if I just press play now, oh yes, so The camera defaults to there, which is fine. Which is kind of okay. Let me... I've got this episode master script, so let's just turn this one on, edit script. I've done a bunch of stuff here, but so what it does is it starts the episode, which I've called episode name opening. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to put that in. I kind of want to have the function zoom cam out. Okay, so what have I got here? Now that's interesting. So the zooming out routine, it feels as though I haven't got oh no, I do have the Unity master script, so let's edit script. Because I think, is there not a way of zooming out on this one? Change ortho size. Yeah. And it looks like I was doing something there. So I think we just need to call upon this and work out the size that we need it to be. So at the moment, it's very interesting. Okay, right. So if I had that as 0, that's in the center. That's fine. So I think we're going to do a little, like, I'm keeping this routine here. Actually, do I even need it? Do I even need it? Now, you know what? Let's go make a new thing. I kind of wanted to call it Episode Master, but I've kind of got that name already used. So let me come up with something. Let that go over here. All right. So where we've got episode scripts, I still kind of want to keep all the scripts together. We're going to create a new C# script, which we're going to call. So not Episode Master script, but something that does that. Cutscene master script, yeah. Cutscene master script. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put this in here. And what we also want to do is we want a function that well, no, we want a whole game object where text can appear, and I kind of like it to appear not just instantly, but in that sort of reading-like way. So we need a way of getting a game object where it's a sort of text box comes up, a text box comes up at the correct size, and then the text just appears slowly. So I haven't actually thought this out quite. I'm just going to call this background, so there's no confusion. Background. Game object, that's fine. So that is essentially what we're going to be working on first, and then we're going to use this cutscene to see if we can get a nice smooth way of having a text conversation. Obviously I'd love to put my own voice in there, and I still might do, but we'll worry about that. We'll worry about that later. So 2D objects, sprite, square. Now we've just got to find, it's the same thing which I always struggle to find the other times. Let's have a look. So it's in sprites. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's something that looks a lot like this. In fact, I might be able to find it if I just click here. So we're looking for this particular, like, kind of grey circle. Not that one. But yeah, it's like a grey circle where you can stretch it out and the sides still remain the same. I'm sure it'll turn up. Right, I'm drinking coffee while I'm doing this. Right, so... this might take a little while. It's trying to load every single sprite there is. It's probably, I think it's probably quicker to, it's not that one. It's not that one. It looks a bit like that, but it's not that one. And then when I find it, I'm just going to try and remember the name so that I don't have this pain every time I need to do it. But I feel like I've committed to this slightly archaic form of finding the correct sprite, and I'll see it soon. I'll be like, there it is. And it's not that one either. Oh, I've got to say though, earlier today, when I actually was able to create that error message, I was like, I've done it! I've done it! Everyone, I've created the error message that I wanted to create. I felt like celebrating. That's partly why I'm doing this stream now. I was so happy when I managed to create it. I think it could be this one. So let's go just put this, let's just go front. Let's make this all 0, 0, 0. And what we want eventually is, if I go main camera here, the orthographic size should be, is it 20? It's quite difficult to actually tell where the lines are. 25, 4, 3. So if I was to just press play now, this is roughly what it's going to look like when it's full screen. I quite like this. So play, maximize, pause, unpause. And I think that's okay. It might be a little bit bright, but then we want to work out a good system for having like text. So I want a text, this obviously is going to look better than this, but we want a text box to appear there and have some sort of writing, and then we're going to kind of go from there, I suppose. Okay, so this will be I was thinking of calling it conversation box, but that's a long thing and I'll probably end up having to type the word conversation a lot and it's going to be difficult. We'll call it talk box GO. Okay, and so one thing as well, this is just, again, this is a slightly more relaxed session. I haven't got quite the energy. So I'm going to explain things, like, even though you might have heard it before, it's going to probably, it's just so that I'm mainly reminding myself. And so what happens, right, if you look at this box, right, this isn't quite how we want it, because all of these, you kind of want these lines and these grey bits to kind of stay roughly together, whereas it just goes thin and it just looks a bit rubbish. So what we want to do is when we actually select it, we've got the sprite, I'm going to say draw mode sliced. Okay, so now if I were to change this, if you look, regardless of how big, these always stay in proportion, and it gets a bit weird when it gets really small. Let's see. Yeah, where it does get a little weird, but it then, yeah, so you can have this box however big you like and it should always remain roughly in the right space, in the right size. So what we need to do now is let's have this as 1 and 1, and that to be 1 and 1. And oh, actually, this is another interesting thing to keep an eye on. 2 and 2. Ah, okay, that's actually very useful. So as I change the size of this, the width, so as I increase this to say 3 or 33, whatever, it actually starts from this point. So regardless of what the size, this point here, this top blue point, will always remain in the same thing. And I think I actually did that, yeah, when I've got the pivot point as top left when you go into the actual sprite. So that's not this game object here, but it's when you actually find the sprite here and set it to top left, which is kind of what I'm going for. So now we can work out a way of putting in text. So what I also want to do, which is going to sort of thinking a few things through in my head. So one thing that was frustrating is a few days ago off stream, I drew a bunch of beans, like various different like portraits of beans, and I was thinking, oh, we can actually have like it can feel as though it's actually one of these beans explaining and talking to you, right? So my plan was to fit the portraits in here, and then the actual sprites have just disappeared. I cannot find them for the life of me. So so in that case, I'm not going to do that then. I mean, I'm going to have to make my own portrait sprites again at some point. So anyway, let's go set this back to 1 and 1. Actually, no, set it to 2 and 2. And what I'm going to do as well is we're going to have a child of it, 2D objects, sprites, square, and we're going to give it another one of these, and this one will be front, but we're going to have it as say 5, so it's a little bit on top. And I kind of want it to I'm going to just have a little look as to see how I think I want it to look like. So first of all, let's go make this. Let's actually find out how big we reasonably need it to be. So we could actually start by putting it at the kind of top of the screen. So let's move this whole thing up. I'm doing a bit of experimenting today. I think, is it 12 is the top? That's not it. that's 12 along the y-axis. So that's 0, and this one is 12. Oh, it must be 24. Okay, that's almost right, isn't it? So let's say 22. Yep. And that can be minus 10, 20. Actually, we'll sort out this because we're actually going to. I'm kind of just trying to get a vague idea as to the sort of size that I want it to be. So I'm looking at the sort of screen here, but we will always attach it to the camera itself, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right. Okay. So now let's move this. I'm just going to call this portrait square. So this is going to be, yeah, portrait SR base, and then attached to that, create 2D objects, sprites, square. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Portrait SR. And then this will be character SR. And we're just going to pick anything for the time being. So I'm just going to have this. So, and this one will be front and 10. And I think I might need to make this whole thing a little bigger. Is that the correct way to go about it? Anyway, let me move everything in place, and then I'll just work out if it needs to be bigger later. So, this is what we want. 0.1. Oh, I'm changing the rotation. That's why that's confusing. 0.543. Let's just turn this off because it's slightly getting in the way. 0.25 minus 0.25. That's still a bit too big, isn't it? Let's go try and half it again. So I think that looks good, and then we can make this size, if we go into sliced, we can make this, so 2 is a little bit big, so maybe 1.75, and this one here 1.75. Okay, and then the actual character itself, we actually need to just work out exactly where it should go. I kind of want it to be as central as I can get it, which would be up there. So what's that actually? What's the exact number we're looking for? I think it's 0.875 by 0.875, but minus that. Okay. So yeah, I picked a terrible example for a picture because this totem, the actual sprite size, it kind of goes over like that. So let me just try and get something that's a little bit more reasonable, but still quite a small sprite, so it does get a bit confusing. Just anything's fine. That, yeah, perfect. Okay, right. So if we were to, I just want to have a look as to what it looks like on the main screen. So yeah, this is why we test these things. So 120. Oh, hang on a sec. I think it was fine. I don't think I needed to lower it. It's because that needed zooming out. So I think. So yeah. So this just needs to actually go up a little bit. So. Let's have a little look. 22. Okay, that sounds fine. But we can, I think, if I was to make this say 3 by 3 by 3, yeah, that looks about the right size. So we're going to have the portrait. This is going to come up along here. There's going to be some text appearing. Yeah, okay, that's good. And we've got to work out exactly what sort of length we want it to be as well. So width of this thing here, and the nice thing is, unless I'm mistaken, yeah, we can alter this width without changing the size of everything else, which makes life a lot easier. So let's just 10, 15, probably got to do a bit of maths to work out the exact correct size this should be. 15, 14, 13.5, 25, 375. Is that the magic number? At the moment, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so 13.375 is where we're going. And then we want text to appear about here. So I think we just attach it to here. We go 3D game objects, nope. Legacy text mesh. This is the only way which I know how to do this. So we'll call this talk TM. And oh, frustratingly. Okay, so the issue that we have is, and it still frustrates me to this day, we can't actually put the text on top yet, because unlike with the sprite renderers, we can sort out these sorting layers, right? So we can put it in front of everything. This text mesh, you actually have to do it in code, which is a little bit frustrating. But I just want to check that this text does exist. So it's, at the moment it's over here, and let me actually, for the time being, let's go. We're just going to lower the alpha of all of this, and then this background we're just going to turn off. Okay, yes, it was there. It was there the entire time. It just by default goes behind everything else. Right, so let's go find a good place to put this. So the anchor is upper left, and I think that does make sense here. So we just want to put it in the right spot. So I always like to try and get the numbers correct. So that's good. Let's go change it to Gilbert font. That's obviously, the text is a bit big there. We can probably change it to say 0.5. I think that looks an okay size. And 2 along there. That's 0.25 minus. That looks all right. I'm okay with that. Right. Okay. So we're starting to get the basis of a conversation box ready, and I think it's literally going to be something like, it's going to ask a question saying like, we can even have this. Would you like a quick tutorial better than that, but something like that. And I kind of want the sort of freedom, yeah, I want the freedom to, like, if there's actually more like lines. So let's see if I can, 1, 2, 3. Does that work? Yeah. Okay. And 4. We kind of want to resize this box if there's more like length. And yeah, okay. Right. So let's also, while we're here, let's find out exactly how many letters we can fit in, so that we know when to make the line breaks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 10, 20, 8. 28 letters per line is what we can do. Okay. Right. So now, oh yeah, we're surprisingly close to actually getting there now. I know you're thinking, but you've done nothing. Look, none of this means anything. Don't worry, don't worry. We are on our way. Right. So got all this full. Now we need to have. This is the TalkBox Go. We're gonna start doing some coding. The best bit. The best bit. Yeah, I love coding. Right, so I think we could keep it in scripts here. So we're going to create a new C# script. We're going to call it individual. I use the word individual a lot, don't I? Doesn't matter. Individual TalkBox script. Okay. Right. And it just wanted to bring up the Visual Studios, just to let you know, it's like Visual Studios hasn't been seen for a while. That's why it was opening up. Right, now that I've actually manually opened this up, we're okay. Right, so what are all the things that we want to have, that we want to control? Right, so we probably want a public transform TalkBox trans, but let's go get private set public. Actually, I should call that base trans. I'm going to change that actually, base trans. So we've now got access to our the transform of the whole thing. We want a sprite renderer which will be base SR get private set. We want a... Why would that be the next default option? Why would you ever think, well, we obviously need a list of random game objects. Come on, stick with the times. Right, no. Okay, so we're now going to go public sprite renderer portrait base SR. Get private set, public sprite renderer. Kind of want to keep it similar to this, so character SR. Character SR. Get private set, public text mesh. And we'll call it talk TM. Get private set. I think that's all we need. So now let's just assign all these to the things that we need to. So we're going to go void awake base trans equals get component transform base SR equals get component yet. Portrait base SR equals get components in children sprite renderer, and that will be 1. So this like get components, this is saying what are all the sprites that we have. Okay, get number 1 on the list, which is the second one. Okay, and now we want to go character SR equals get component, and that's going to be the second one on the list. And then we want to have talk TM equals get, and we can actually just go get component in children text mesh and do all that. Now I'm also going to be a little bit sneaky. We're going to say talk TM dot. Oh, hold on, how do I do this? What am I missing here? How do I normally do this? Okay. Sorry, having a... Oh, it is just... Oh. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought there was a smarter way of doing this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have mesh renderer. Let's say, let's go have an extra variable. Let's go be kind to ourselves. Public mesh renderer talk MR get private set talk MR equals talk TM dot get component. It's close, it's just get component mesh renderer. Okay, all right, so So the reason I'm doing all of this, the only reason we ever need this is just so that we can move the order, like the draw order of our of the text to push it in front of everything else. And I think we decided, so talk mr dot order equals 10 and talk mr dot sorting layer name equals, and I think it's just front. Okay, so this will essentially make sure that it is in front of everything. So with just this bit of code here, right, I just want to check, we can start checking a few little things right now. So we don't want it to be on full screen anymore, we just want to go and play focused. That's fine, and I'm going to press play. I'm obviously going to laugh at myself because I forgot to put in the individual TalkBox script. So we've now got that attached. And then the reason this text goes on top is because we changed all of these numbers here to make sure that it does go on top. Okay, all right, so that's the sort of most of the groundwork done. I always like to have a public bool that's called busy, and we want to have a public void because I'm thinking of nice cheeky little shortcuts I can do here. So public void summon text box, and we want a string which will be talk string, and we probably want a private enumerator summon text box routine, summon text box routine, busy equals true, busy equals false, and then so we don't get that, we're just going to go yield return null, so that way it just stops any error messages. And let me see if I can work this out. Because you know, sometimes you're thinking several layers in front. Oh wow, how's it going? Yeah. Oh, Lakia, sorry, I was properly entranced at the moment. Yeah, I really did want to. I think like I was just so happy about sorting out this save load fiasco. It turns out I could have just put it in and it wouldn't have been a problem. The only problem is the only way which I didn't know that, and I was worried that as soon as I put it in, anyone who's already downloaded the playtest, it's going to crash. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, I apologise. I was, I'm doing, at the moment, I'm doing something quite light-hearted. It's just the ability to summon a text box and destroy it again. And ideally put a particular string. Ah, yes. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. RFK Gaming 89. Let's rock. Wicked. Thank you very much for the follow. How's it all going? Oh, wow. Now, I'm not sure what that's a picture of. It looks, is it a group of butterflies? Is it a is it an aorta that's run out of any sort of blood? Yes, it is all going awesome. It's working on some bash script. Wow, nice. It's a nut with blue clues. Blue clues. Okay, that makes more sense. Yes, but it looks really cool. Oh, wicked. Oh, I'm not even sure. I haven't heard the expression bash script. But I do sometimes use the expression, I'm just going to bash out some script. But yeah, no, that's really cool. So we're working on, essentially, I want to get the text to kind of like appear, but like in a sort of way. You know what I mean? You know, like in SNES games when text comes up and it's like, and as it comes along, that's what we're looking for. So I think we probably need a public string, which will be something like, which we'll just call like held string. I think that makes sense. So now we can have held string equals talk string, and then we're going to go start coroutine. Yeah, summon that, and then it's going to become busy. So we're going to do, this is going to be the sort of fun part where we actually just construct we work out everything that we want to happen. Right, so I think the default size, this one here should be, this one here I think is 2, and we make it bigger dependent on each thing. So yeah, Proximox, so I can run a command like /. Okay, yeah. Actually, the one trick that I've done, and this is probably not the main purpose of a Stream Deck, is if ever I wanted to create a generic coroutine, I've got a button here which does this, which just creates everything. Like I say, it's not the most inventive way. It's essentially just typing something out, but it's surprisingly useful. Yeah, it saves quite a bit of time. Oh, but yeah, oh, that's awesome. So are you working on a game? Do feel free to chuck it in the... yeah, put... Oh, hold on. Yeah, if you did want to put a link, I'll need to whitelist you. But yeah, if there's anything you want to show off, I'll be able to do that for you. But yeah, but yeah, like anyway, I'm gonna get rocking with this. So I'll put little green notes as to work out exactly what we want to happen. So I think I want to very quickly summon this. So actually, first of all, I think we have talk tm dot string. Ah, sorry, I got a fly. It's attacking me. Dot text. That's why we're struggling. Equals space. Proximox virtual environment. Wow. Okay. Virtualization management platform. Oh my gosh! See, it's like, that's, you know, it's like kind of, that's like the proper difficult thing, because when you're making a computer game, you can just be like, oh, I can do, you know, like, whereas that requires some serious discipline. Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah, fair play, man. And is bash the name of the code? So we're going to set the text to 0. To nothing. We kind of want to have the alpha of everything equal to 0. So let's just do that individually. So portrait, that, and that we all want to set to 0. So base sr.color equals color.clear. Oh, right. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, fair play. And character sr.color equals 0, yeah. Oh, right. Oh, fair play. No, that sounds really good. I mean, is it similar to having just a way of just essentially when you type something small, it just, like, the whole thing comes out? Like with my ingenious method of creating a coroutine. Right, so we set everything to 0. I think we're going to have float fade speed equals 0.15. I think 0.15 is probably the best one. So int chum equals mover.instance.fade SR to color, and we're going to have base SR, and we want it to set to color dot. We don't actually need to have it, we can change this, we can make it a different color if we want, but for the time being I'll have it as color dot white, and the fade speed we're going to have as fade speed, and then we just go like this, and then we wait for all that to be done. Control C, and then we want to change portrait, and that one to be character SR. So what's happening over here? We're first of all making the base. We're setting the text to nothing. We're fading the background in. Then we're fading the portrait in, and then we're fading in the actual picture on the portrait. Oh yeah, I love that. I think the one thing that is very interesting is this mover script. Essentially, if we actually go into it, let's see if I can find a good example. Go to definition here. Right, what's happening is we're setting a bunch of variables here, and then we're doing, we're essentially, this is just a relatively simple routine that's fading one thing to a set colour over a period of time. Now, before I'd created this script, I literally just put all of this code in every single time, and it probably took me almost a year of having all of this, having like this like type of code in quite literally like probably hundreds if not thousands before I thought, why don't I just make some sort of mastery script that just does this all for me, and then now I can just cut it into this. Right. Okay, nice. Okay, so we've faded everything in there. Now, this is going to be the interesting thing. We're going to have... how do we do this? So... I can't remember. There's quite an easy way of just adding adding like text to... yeah, hold on. So, oh yes, so first of all, we actually want to make the held string, so, what, the talk string now? No, held string, yeah. Held string equals, now we've got a little function somewhere, master script dot instance. Let's go into here and find out the actual function that we need. Because on this master script, I've got a few things which just make converting text a little bit easier. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's just, it was so, I think it was one of those where, I don't know if this has ever happened, where like I was really tired. I'd had a really busy day, absolutely exhausted, really tired. And then like before I could finally close my eyes to sleep, I was like, I've got it. Why didn't I just make a massive function which does it all for me? And I could barely sleep that night because I was like, I want to do it now, but I'm too tired. Right, so fix string line length. That's good because we've actually got quite a lot of things. Fix. Oh yes, we don't need to deal with this. So I've got a few functions here that I've made that essentially can give you a string. You chuck a string into it, and if you want the line length to be no longer than 28, then it won't just after every 28 just put a line break in, but it will look for the nearest space so that it does a line break so it looks a little bit better. And now I have got to get the correct bit of code. Unfortunately, I mean, it looks it looks like I've got two things which do the same thing. Are they exactly the same bit of code? Anyway, we'll do fix string ll. So equals master.instance dot fix string ll, and then we want to put in the held string, and in fact, why don't we just do this? Taught string, and I think we decided 28 was the length, and I think we can just get rid of that then now, can't we? Okay, now, so we have actually got the string ready, and I think for the time being, I might be able to do something a little bit more fancy later, but for the time being, I'm going to go chum equals, oh actually, I don't know if I've got one, mover.instance. No, we don't. Okay, so I'm going to do something which I should have made a function for a while ago. Yes, yeah, actually, that's a good idea, actually. Obviously, to me, it involved essentially copy about 400 times before I thought, hang on a sec, there might be an easier way of doing this. Right, so what we're going to do now is... okay. This is, I mean, do we actually ever do we ever add a whole new element to, no, you know what, let's go, this is going to be fun, I'm contradicting myself here, let's go to definition. Okay, so, what if, okay, right, so this is like my sort of baby here, this whole script here is, yeah, so we're almost, well, at 1700 lines of pure genius. Again, like, by the way, I quite often say this as a self-esteem exercise for myself, when there isn't anything that special here, but in my head I'm like, oh, this is amazing, you've got to check this out. So what we're going to do, this is going to be brilliant. We're going to create a whole new thing, all right? And what is it going to be? So, let me get this right. This is quite old code. I feel like there's going to be dust falling off as I actually change this, but let's go. What we want is a new vector here, public vector2, and we'll call it S2F vec2. Is that going to be too confusing? Maybe. And what I'm doing on awake here is, like I say, a way more efficient way of doing this, I'm sure. But S2F vec2 equals new vector2 number of transforms. Okay, we're going to actually add more to this. It's going to be great. So I think where we've got grow to size, I am going to go Control C, copy this, and paste it. Okay, and we are going to change some of the variables in it. So it's not going to be called start trans. It's going to be a sprite renderer, and we're going to rename this to start SR, I guess. The target vector is actually going to be a vector2, and it will be target vec2, I guess. Oh, this is exciting. Yeah, this is how I create. So this is going to be something which will save me a lot of time in the future as well. Yeah, by the way, sorry, RFK Gaming, thank you for this, because, like, it's only, like, it's occurred to me that the thing that I was about to do just now, I have actually had to do the sort of manual version probably maybe 10 or 15 times in this game so far. And it occurs to me, why don't I just make my own, like, make a version of it that kind of deals with it. So this is going to be grow to size SR. Okay, alright, so now that will just be whatever our first sprite renderer is. S2F SR, that's fine. S2F SR. And this is going to be, I'm going to rename, no, I'm not, I'm just going to go SR. That's going to be SR. Oh, that could have been a little dangerous. We want to have S2F Vec2. I just thought there's a good chance you're probably you're thinking, what am I going for? Basically, I'm looking to make a function where I can grow a sprite to a certain size, but I'm not saying growing a transform. The transform is what you normally manipulate, whereas you can actually manipulate the sprite renderer, the actual image itself, to fit in the correct size. So that's what we're actually going for. Now we need to do a little bit of S2FSR. And so, like, I thought if I just had my other ones, so if we actually go back to, hold on. Nah, forget it. I've got something here called grow to rect trans, which might be exactly what I'm after, but no, we're creating a new one. And anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, so the original one, what would happen is we'd set a bunch of stuff here, we'd set it to the amount of time that we want to set it to, and then we're basically finding the original size and then lerping it into the new size by using this sort of complicated stuff, and then eventually at the end of it we then say make it equal to that size. So we're going to do the equivalent but with a sprite renderer size and hope it all works. So start, so this is this one here, so vector 2 equals that dot size, boom, yes, okay, and the vector 2 finish vec is going to be the S2F vec2, and the T2T, which is time to take, is going to be that same thing, so that's no problem. Right, okay. So now we just need to change what's going on here. So let's have a look. Actually, this is going to be easier than I thought. S2F SR, as long as that's not null, all of this is still fine. The vector 2 avec equals, I think all that's fine. And we now just want to have S2FSR dot size equals avec. Right, let's go. Okay. Otherwise all that, and then we want to make sure that if that is true and this S2FSR is true, oh, at the moment I don't have a date for my game yet. Oh, I've actually just misspelled this. I don't have a date yet. It's more just like kind of one thing which I'm worried about is like, in a kind of good way and a bad way, I have literally so many more ideas that I want to put in this game, but like all of that could literally take me another year and a half, right? And I feel at some point I've actually just got to be like, no, stop, that's all the things, and I'm going to stick with there. And then I might like make some like patches and some add-ons a bit later. But it's more like kind of, I feel I've spent like about a year and a half-ish on this game, and I'm thinking, no, you know what, I think I'm ready to actually release it now, or otherwise I will literally just be here forever. And yeah, it's also Now, this is something that's there's a kind of funny story which I've got to explain as well, which is, I mean, it's a little bit pathetic, but there is a lot of comedy value to be had in it. Right, let me just get that sort there. So that looks all good. So so now we've done all of that. So we can now have chum equals. So over I think it was December last year, as we were coming up to the new year, or like Christmas and whatever, I had a little sportsman's bet with a friend saying that I could make more from my game. Yeah. Oh, yes, you're completely right, RFK. Yeah. Oh, you've heard the story, yes. So, there's a, you know, like I say, it's a sportsman's bet. But it's, like, if he has worked out how much money he makes from his solar power generator, I want to see how much I can make from my game, and it's going to be, the competition will be, to see who can, you know, and don't get me wrong, it's not going to be an awful lot of money either way, but I kind of want to at least be able to put my competitor forward for the challenge, and if I could just spend I could spend years trying to make this game better and better. But yeah, like RFK Gaming, you are right. Yeah, best to do patches and add on to it with updates. Yeah, completely agree. Yes, so I can give you a sort of rough idea. Obviously, it's very weather dependent. So, I know at this point you're thinking, is he like a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire like entrepreneur, and like his friend has actually got a proper solar farm who's going to make like millions every year, and I'm thinking, oh yes, well I can definitely make 2 or 3 million, but this isn't the case. And it's the sportsman's bet, just some sort of tosh like a yacht or something. No. I'm not quite in that league yet. I think he is like, yeah, weather dependent. I think the maths, I tried to sort of crunch the numbers and everything, and he's from his solar generator. I mean, that's the thing, I would recommend solar power. If I could ever be bothered, I would definitely go to solar power. But he's making, like, from energy, like saving money on his electricity bill, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say big money here. Maybe £1 or £1.50 a day on average. There's days where he can make loads, some less and stuff. But so I need to. So I'm thinking if I can somehow like beat like, you know. So yeah. So I don't know what he's on at the moment, but it's just, yeah. So at the moment, obviously, I'm effectively on 0, and he's obviously racing ahead. But I feel like I want to, yeah, see how it all goes really. Right, so S2F, grow to size SR. We want to go start SR, new vector 2. Oh no. Oh god, actually I didn't realise it was that much. I mean, like, because the problem is like, when we were going through the winter months in the early part of this year, he was like making 4p and 8p, and like and it would be a big deal if it was like 50p, right? And I was thinking, okay, this seems manageable, and then suddenly I'm hearing so we kind of we haven't really gone over those rules, because I do realise that Steam takes away quite a segment of it. So we haven't really done that. It's just one of the Twitch oil tycoons. Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, the weird thing is as much as I do love sunny weather and stuff, every day that I see it raining and miserable and there's no sun at all, part of me is thinking, yes. Right, we decided 13.75, 13.375, 13. I think it might be 875. And that will be 2.0f. and I think we just have it over maybe half a second. And then we'll go chuck that in there. That's not start SR, that needs to be base SR, I think. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I think that's actually looking quite good. Right, now we've got to work out a way of adding the text, and I've got to think of a good way of doing that. Yeah. I mean, like, I think the like the only problem is like, because we were actually, when we were in a coffee shop, and we were almost like it was almost like a gentleman's club where we both had a big cigar discussing all the things. It turns out revenue made from Twitch won't actually be won't count towards my Rumpletown like number at the end. So yeah. Right. So we're so what we've done here, we've faded everything in. We're growing this SR to the correct size, and now we want to have a good system for making the text. Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of work out. So 4, and then there. I equals 0, I less than held string dot length, and let's just go. Yeah, I'm going to make this a little bit easier on myself. We're going to just call this shown text equals that. Okay, shown text plus equals held string I. Okay, now here's where here's where the fun bit comes. Like, obviously you don't want to wait a frame for every letter, but I think we do something like float text wait time equals, say, 0.1 f. Okay. And then float time equals 0, and we kind of want another int number of. I'm making this way more complicated, but I love it. This is what makes it so fun. Number of letters per wait equals, and I'm going to say 5, and int letters counter equals 0. Okay, so we're adding a little bit here, and then we're going to have that probably just needs to be letter count. Right, so letter counter plus plus. All right, if letter counter is greater or equal. Yeah, yeah. I know. I was like, part of me was thinking, well, I've got one person who's definitely going to buy it. So if I make it cost £3,000, then I can win. But no, that's very good of you. I do appreciate that, man. If letter counters is greater or equal to there, then letter counter minus equals number of letters per wait, and then we're going to go time while time is less than text wait time plus equals time dot delta time, and then we need to have yield return null. Well, I think, to be fair, what like there's a game that's called Vampire Survivors that, like, I've got only respect for that game because it's awesome and it's really cheap, and part of me feels like, because like I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I sometimes, you know, I look at, like, not in a sort of bad way, but I know that I can never really actually make, you know, an awful lot, so it's probably going to be relatively cheap, which is but I don't know exactly. I haven't decided the price structure yet, but it's going to be, it might be a couple of quid or something, maybe £3, but I haven't sort of crunched the numbers. Right, so that goes there. We're waiting for that, and then we just want to have time minus equals text wait time. Oh, this is nice. I hope this all works first time. It'll be brilliant. Okay, yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to just, like, kind of like a really intricate mousetrap. We're actually, I want to kind of get all this together, and, like, I want to see if it all just kind of works. Right. And then, so this is all fine. So I'm sort of having a stare at it, just checking that that's. So what's it's gonna do is it's gonna add a letter at a time, and then this is going up, and every 5 letters it's gonna wait for 0.1 seconds. So yeah, so we'll see what that looks like. It might just look rubbish, but we'll find out. And then once all the letters are up, it's then busy. Yeah, okay. All right. And then we kind of want an unsummon as well. So, oh yeah, I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? Like, it's a really satisfying game. It's like, I think, have you got a favourite weapon? To me, because obviously when you can get the sort of mastered, the cursed weapons or whatever, I liked, no, I've forgotten what it was now. It's the one where there's this sort of blue magical damage area thing that sort of goes around. Yeah, and like, kind of, it just gets, I think the thing is it turns out it is better to play it on a PC, because I was playing it on my iPad and, you know, like, it crashed, but I wasn't even annoyed, even though I'd lost, like, I was almost half an hour. Yeah. Oh, that means a lot, man. I do really appreciate that. I think, yeah, like, kind of, because I do, yeah, it's like, kind of, I want it to be a sort of decent, like, oh, you like Slay the Spire, you know, here's a game that is quite heavily inspired by Slay the Spire. It might be good. But it's the first time that I've ever had any computer game just crash on me, and I've almost looked at myself and I've thought, well, there was about 1,000 sprites on screen, there was about 1 million explosions, there was so many of these number things coming up, and this is an oldish iPad. I can't be too annoyed. I was like, of course it's going to crash. Yeah, so where are we up to? So yeah, we want a public void unsummon. What I should have actually done, it's too late now, I should have done my create a coroutine routine. Public, no, private void unsummon routine busy equals true, busy equals false. Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Now, I think the so I have a friend who's into computer games who hasn't yet played Slay the Spire, right? And my plan is once this game is actually looking quite good, I kind of want to be like, oh, I hear this game's quite good. Get him to play it, and then he'll be like, oh, this is actually quite good. And then, like, before he actually plays Slay the Spire, and he was like, oh, why didn't you just give me Slay the Spire? Like, I think this is different and unique enough, but it's just Slay the Spire is just, yeah. I'll private that meant to be an I enumerator. There we go. Yeah, it's like kind of, I think, you know, it's like when I look at the art style of Slay the Spire, and how it's probably, it runs a bit smoother. Yeah, like I say, it's like, I just want to make a good sort of equivalent where it's like, oh yeah, if you like this, play this as well. Right, so we kind of want to do pretty much the same as what we've done here, but the other way. So if I go, copy all this, and then we just turn a few things upside down, so Control C, Control V, and let's go float fade speed equals, what did we have as the fade speed before? Let's go make it a little bit shorter so it unsummons a bit quicker. Right, right, cool. So we actually kind of want to go in the opposite order. So let me get rid of that there. And go Alt. Okay, so we're fading away the character, then the portrait, then the base. But we kind of, what's happening over here? Oh, and this, I think we want this to happen before everything else as well. So I'm kind of mirroring int. There we go. And then we kind of want that to be down to 2.0f. This will be great. Hopefully, I mean, how good would it be if it worked first time? It's just this is my almost my favourite bit, when you spend ages getting all the coding right, thinking, is it all going to work? Is it going to look great? Is it going to, you know? And then hopefully it'll just be like, bam! It's going to be amazing. So we're shrinking it down, we're then getting rid of the character, then the base, then that. We kind of want to make it clear. We don't want to turn it from white to white. Yeah. Oh, yes. Actually, well, that's the thing. Like, I never consider that a failure, because it's more, it's like, because I always see it as a failure when you manage to actually get the game running. You're like, okay, does this work? And then like afterwards, you're like, it then crashes afterwards. Whereas if you get to, like, so if I was to like do this and go out and then have a look, I mean, I'm still not quite ready because I want to still get a few more things prepared. But yeah, if there was an error message there, I'd still be like, okay, that's fine. We can fix that. Right. So that's fading everything away. And then I guess we destroy the game object. Destroy game object. So and what we should do, so this is a kind of trial run. And do I ever do something? So what I'm tempted to do... Okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. So this is, so we've got this talk box. We probably need to find a home for it somewhere. So if I go into episode stuff, I'm just going to kind of get rid of all this now. I just wanted to check the numbers here, so let's get rid of all that. So we haven't yet made this long enough, like as in if there's more than 5 lines of text, or if there's more than 4 lines, I kind of want this to get a little bit bigger. So I haven't dealt with that yet. But yeah, the number of times I've had a missing semicolon or a missing colon, yeah. So we got, so that's good. We can just add this here. So, and we have added this individual talkbox script, right? So now, yeah, I can just delete this. Get out of here. Right, now we've got the cutscene master script. Let's go get rid of all this. I have a feeling we're going to need access to this quite a bit, so we're going to have a public cutscene master script, which we're going to call instance, and then we're going to go void awake instance equals this. So that way we've got access to this. Right, what else do we need? We want a public, I'll call it a public sorry, I'm just trying to think out loud. Public game object, talk box go, and talkbox go, and we're going to say talkbox go equals resources.load game object, and then we're going to find this one here. We're just going to copy this path, slam it in here like a true boss, and then get rid of this bit. So we've now got access to this. And then why don't we actually make a little routine? So we're going to say public void tutorial scene. And then private I enumerator tutorial scene routine. Because even now I'm thinking in my head, oh yeah, of course we haven't made a boolean yet. Public bool busy, and then we're going to say busy equals true, busy equals false, and then we'll go yield return null just for the time being. Right. Start coroutine tutorial, yeah. Void start tutorial scene, and I've actually got the text somewhere as to what my plan is going to be as to the things that we're going to say. So now we want a public void, no, actually public thinking something through as I, yeah, okay, yeah, we want public individual, oh, I've used the word individual far too many times, talkbox script, and we'll just put a little underscore there. All right, actually we just say held. Right, so what we want is to go public void create new text box, and we'll just want a string which we'll call a string which will be talk string. I haven't dealt with the portrait yet, so now yeah, at the moment I just want the text to be at the top, so we don't actually need to worry too much about where we create it. So we're going to go back at 5, need to go water the plants. Ah, fair play, nice one. I'm going to grill you as to what you're actually growing at some point. Right, so what's actually going to happen here? I kind of want to say if underscore let's go make a whole new, yeah, we can turn this into a routine. So public bool preparing talk box, and then we're going to have a routine here, private IEnumerator, create new text box routine. I guess we do actually put string talk string there. And so we're going to start coroutine, create, that sounds good, and then preparing talkbox equals true. Preparing talkbox. I probably should have done a timer, see if I could get this all done so like quickly, like as prepared as I could do. So let's go sort this one out first. So held individual talkbox script equals instantiate talkbox go dot get component. Right, so now we've created it, we just want to have held individual talkbox script dot summon text box, and we want to have the talk string there. Okay, but what I like actually is having a little bit here. Oh, hold on, yep, and then while busy no, while held dot busy yield return null. So wait until all the text has come up. And this is where it gets a little smart. I quite like this. We can have if held talkbox script is not equal to null, we want to go held individual talkbox script dot unsummon, and then we actually want to just put that semicolon. Okay, all right. So with that in mind, we now want to go create new text box. Now, something like, would you like to? Would you like some help with how to play the game? Question mark. At the moment, I do still want to have like a yes no, but we're not going to worry about that for the time being. And then we'll go while preparing text box yield return null. Okay, so now we just can do this a bunch of times. But we obviously want to change some of the text. Right. So you have to drag cards up in order to play them. A few dots there. And that's pretty much it. Okay. All right. Now let's have a little debug here, just to check that we do get debug.log, something like end of conversation. Okay. Right. Now, I mean, here is... Right, is this going to work first time? Right. So the first thing that we want to test is, have we got any clear and obvious gaping error messages? No. Did I save it? Yes, I did. Okay. Let's go turn this one back on. So we got a bit more style, a bit more of a feel. Right. Yeah, well, is it going to work first time? Let's go. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, yes. That is very close. Very close. Let's see what we've done wrong. Yes. I just kind of thought, well, it took so little time to load. I forgot to actually wait for any key input, didn't I? So, while... in fact, what we could do is, at this point here, we want to have... While... we'll have... input dot get mouse button mouse button get mouse button down 0 yield return null. So one thing, for whatever reason, the text wasn't appearing as I wanted it to. And that, I think we just need to have while not get mouse button down. So that is actually universal. So if ever I were to put this on like an iPad or something, that getting mouse button would affect tapping as well. So I think that looks fine. Okay, so we just got to work out exactly... It looked like the text itself didn't come up. Oh, of course it didn't come up. Of course it didn't come up. I'm an idiot. We've got this shown text, but we haven't actually set it. TM... what have I called it again? No, can't remember. Talk TM, that's it. TalkGM.text equals shown text. Okay. Right. Okay, second time. Oh, so what are you growing in your greenhouse? Okay, right. I probably should have had this full screen. No, let's go make it full screen. Let's go enjoy it in full motion. Right. Okay. All right. That didn't quite work. So you have to drag cards up in order to play them. Okay. Right. That's still not bad. ... And that's pretty much it. Okay. Right. So we just need to fade the text away. That's not bad though, is it? I'll take it. We forgot to fade the text away. So we can actually just go here, I think, at this point. Oh, wow! Yes! Okay, alright, suddenly, don't, anyone, whenever I think of growing food, whenever I think of actually having stuff in a greenhouse, or anyone who's growing anything, I always think, well, grow something that you can eat. Then it serves a purpose. It's like, I just had this worry. You'd be like, well, I'm growing some chrysanthemums, and I was like, well, I guess they look nice, but they don't serve much purpose. And it's like homegrown stuff as well. Oh, what? That's awesome. Oh, that's really cool. Hold on, let's go get rid of that. Int chum equals mover.instance.fade tm to color talk tm color.clear fade speed, yeah. And then we just want to go chuck that in there. And let's actually play around with this. Maybe this should always be, say, 2. but this can be a little bit lower. So maybe 0.05. All right, let's give this a shot. Right, okay. I know what I've done wrong. I put it in the wrong place. I mean, I've got the exact code that I need, so I'm not too worried. I just put it in the wrong place. That's when you summon it, so I've categorically... I've faded out all of the thing before it happens. Yes! Oh, awesome. Okay, that's really cool. So I'm guessing that's actually quite good for, like, I don't know if you're a Muesli fan. I used to quite like Muesli. But it's just, it feels like you can just wake up in the morning and put together sort of like a sort of quasi breakfast cereal with that. That's fantastic. I needed to do it there. Oh, you don't do breakfast. Oh, breakfast is my favourite bit. I love breakfast in the morning. In fact, I don't function throughout the day unless I have that. Right, how does that look? That looks a bit better, doesn't it? So you have to drag cards up and display them. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Oh yes, so the reason it didn't fade away is because, yeah, that's fine. All right. So that actually is really good. Unfortunately, like I did make some sprites at some point, and I literally, you know, it's an issue that I was actually discussing earlier, like because I saved it and I put it in a folder and I can't remember what folder I put it in, and it was probably something like I probably, as a joke, I probably put it in a folder called something like Gary Barlow's Greatest Hits, right? But I've forgotten the folder name, and now it is lost in somewhere in my PC and I will never find it again. It's just, we're actually very much well on our way. So I'm tempted to, because I've actually got a kind of a basic script. So we're actually close to getting the thing that we want to do now. Where am I? Over here. So what I actually want to do is, it's where it gets a bit weird, is I want to have some sort of like yes and no button. So right as soon as the game starts, it will say something like, would you like to know how to, would you like a tutorial or something? And you'll have the ability to just say no, and skip it if you wanted to. But you can say yes and then it'll explain a few things. But I don't want people to feel as though it's too much effort, you know, because a lot of people are like, I want to play the game, I want to be in the game, I want to do it straight away. So yeah, so we've got to work out a sort of yes and no system, which I will, yeah, I'll try and work out a good way. In fact, yeah, what we can do is, so this one, so over here, we kind of want to have something like, we're going to create a bool here, bool yes equals, say, false. Okay, and we want to essentially create a yes-no system. Haven't worked out how I'm going to do that yet. No, that's fair enough. No, that's cool. I think, like, I always just need, like, I've realised unless I do have coffee in the morning, I would say I work at about 30% efficiency. So I can just about walk from one place to another. But if I'm walking and then suddenly someone is talking to me at the same time while I'm walking, I'm like, no, I cannot do both things here. Right. So, yeah, let's go create a, maybe we can make a little button. I'm seeing what sprites I can use. So I know that I've done probably not that title. Let's have a little look. I'm seeing if I've actually got any sort of blank buttons that I can use that will be. Sorry, these are really small. Like. I can just create one. It won't take very long, I don't think. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I can do that now. Right, so that was there for earlier. Let me go open up this bad boy over here. Is it title? I don't think it's title. UI. It's not UI. I think it might just be buttons. That probably makes more sense. So what we want is, yeah, this is kind of what we're after, really, isn't it? Might be one of these. I think this is probably what we go with. So if I go into here, so yeah, we want exactly this, except for it to say, yeah, we want something similar to this. Let's see if I'll set a little timer, just so that it feels like I am, because I'm not super great at this. I'll set it for, say, oh yeah, that's not up, is it? Not that long either. But right, okay, yeah, 15 minutes. Let's see if I can make a nice little yes and no button in one go, in one sort of fell swoop. So first of all, now we're on here, I'm going to go Control-Shift-S and we'll just save it as yes, no buttons, and I think we just have a new folder here saying yes, no buttons, and then we just save it here. Okay, so what bit is the text? Oh, hold on. Let's go get rid of that loop. That's going to probably cause us some problems. So what's happening over here? Yeah, I see what's happening. Right, and we need that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go on top of it because we want it to be a bit more, we want it to take up a bit more of the square. The reason the upgrade is at the bottom is because there's other information we want to put when we're upgrading. But this is a perfect situation to put this all in. Right, and I quite like this colour system as well. So what's actually happening as the colour's actually fading. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, so the colour's actually fading from this colour all the way down to that colour. So we can probably do something similar. And so let's go make a start. Oh yeah, so I'll start here. Okay, so if I press T and we have the word yes, and let's see how big that is. That's probably a little on the small side. Let's go make it white for the time being, press text, and then make it a little bit bigger than that, 50. Let's see how big is 50. Still a bit small. 150. We're getting close, but still want it to be a bit bigger than that. Let's go 250. So has anyone else watched Taskmaster? Ah, that's pretty good. Okay. So I want it still a little bit low, like that. Okay. So now that we've got that, I can now go highlight the black there, and then if I press Shift O and then click on that and go OK, we've got it vaguely outlined. And then W. Actually, no, we can. We'll worry about the colours in a little bit. Control C, Control V, and then we kind of want to go Shift O, make it a little bit thicker, and then Control C, Control V, and Shift O, a little bit thicker still. I can't remember how many layers this is, so currently we're up to 3, and it looks like it's 4. That's good. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to go. Let's see what's the best way of doing this. Control C, Control V, Control CV. Okay. Yeah, so we just need to. So at the moment, if we actually just temporarily get rid of all this, you can see it kind of going like that, and we just want it to go up a little bit more than that. So Control C, Control V, now Control C V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's probably a quicker way of doing this, but I feel I've got a pretty quick system. Yeah, and I think 6 each time. And then we'll worry about the colours in a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Actually, I hope that all goes okay. Actually. So yeah, that must be a sort of pain. I know there was. I remember I did a shift a while ago where. Yeah, it is a real pain when your hearing's going slightly. Right. So I think we're just going to copy these colours and chuck them in there. So if I go like that, hold Alt and click, and then go on G, I can just colour all of this in. Then we just do the same for all of this. It's like, yes, there was probably a quicker way of doing this. I just can't quite think at the moment. Slightly letting my brain rest just while I'm trying to work out the next move. And now I think we can just get rid of all this altogether now. Yeah, let's get rid of all that. Yeah. Yeah. So if I go F2, we just have a little loop. Yeah. And we can actually make it tag properties, ping pong. Yeah. And I can make the animation a bit faster, but we're looking to do kind of the same again, but with no. And what a slight mistake that I made was let's go make a bit more space here. Yeah, a bit of a mistake that I made was if I did this all the other way, it would have been a lot easier. So I'm going to do the same again, but with but doing it forwards instead of backwards. So let's go Control C, Control V. And then, because what you can do as well, if you highlight here and go right mouse button, you can reverse the frames, you can flip it around. So that's, I'm going to get the no sorted starting. In fact, let's go make it even easier on ourselves here. We're just going to go reverse frames, and then we'll start the no section here. So T, no, Z. Let's go actually have it at that. So that's pretty good. Okay, now Shift O. Right, 6 minutes. Oh, what? Okay. So Alt D just copies the next frame over. Shift O. Alt D. Shift O. D. Shift O. CD. There's something wrong there. Control Z. Control CV. Yep, that's fine. And then M. Alt D. Control CV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D. See what I'm doing wrong. Oh yeah, of course. I need to just, yeah, I need to kind of Control CV. Why? That's really annoying. Let's go. Let's try again. Control CV. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Now we can just go like this, right? I actually need to highlight it each time. Okay, right, now we can just get rid of that. Actually, I shouldn't have done that yet. We just want to change the colours as well. So they're on to here now, and we're going to go G. So G is for fill. Assoprite's a wonderful tool, by the way. I wanted to make it red. Right, okay, we've got 2 minutes 50 seconds. Right, let's go change the entire system into red. Let's go like that. Big 1, 2, 2. There's 8 there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means maybe we just go. This one's actually meant to be the, yeah, 1, 2. Now we can get rid of that. And we probably want the background, not this one. Actually, yeah, we do want this one here to be maybe. What if I make it this colour here? Okay, right. So let's have a little look. You know what? That's good enough for me. Alright, so... oh, do I want to make the whole animation of it fading away? I should. It's going to be quite a lot of effort. No, we're just going to press it and it will just fade away. I think that's fine. So, Control S. Probably don't need that anymore. Get rid of that. Let's go try and clean everything up a bit. With that. That. We've got 24, 12 frames. Control S again. Control Shift S. We'll save as a PNG. Get rid of this now. Yes, no buttons. So these are all the buttons that we need. Yeah. Oh, with 26 seconds to spare as well. Right. So I think we can probably keep them here as well. I'll go create folder. Yes. Yes. No. Buttons. Create a folder saying. Yeah. Yes. And create a folder saying no. Could have used the tick and cross. Never mind. Never mind. Could just use the yeah. Never mind. I mean, I love you, Windows 10. I do, but you know, like I don't always want you to open each individual sprite in Windows Paint. Sometimes I just want to highlight it so I can drag it. Okay, right, so we've got these sprites. Let's go make it roughly the same size as whatever we've got here. So that's 256. Let me go get rid of that. And yeah, so 256 is what we're headed for. So all I need to do is I need to highlight all of these, just that bit there. Go 256, point filter, and none, and apply. Just take a sec. That's all good. Okay, now. We want to create a 2D object, sprite, square, and we'll call it yes, no, button, go. We're basically going to put the same code onto the yes and the no because they've got to do literally exactly the same thing except one thing. Okay, except obviously pass either a true or a false. Okay, so that's good. For the time being, we're just going to set it like that. Still feels a bit small, doesn't it? We can make it bigger. We'll make it bigger, don't worry. In fact, why don't we actually work out exactly the size that we want to do it? So I'm going to go play focus. No. Yeah, play on focus, yeah. And then we have a little play here. Let's move it. Maybe, I mean, it feels like it needs to be like 5 times bigger. Yeah. Is that too big? Yeah, seems fine to me. So maybe we have 7.5. I'm just looking at the sort of numbers that we want everything in. and that one to be minus 7.5. Obviously, when this all happens, this is going to be yes or no. And then let's just have a look at what that sort of feels like in full screen. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. Obviously, these are going to be animated, and they'll look a little bit nicer, but yeah. Okay, right. So we've got the yes/no button. We decided... oh yeah, we haven't actually worked out the Y value, and I can't get that anytime soon. We'll worry about that later. 5, 5. Yeah, I want it big and juicy, because bear in mind, people ideally at some point in the state will be playing this on smartphone or iPad, so you want big, juicy, chunky buttons that are just like a boom, yeah, let's press it. So that's what we're going for. Okay, so we probably need to add a 2D box collider. Hold on. Add a... Oh, no, yeah, exactly, cancel, that's fine. So, right. So this is a weird thing, right? And it's something that I brought up a little while ago. If we actually move this all the way up, move this all the way up, and I want to have a little look. And we probably want the box collider to actually go down a little bit, be sort of in line with that. Perfectly in line. It's good. I think that's good enough for me. So, how do we get this to work? Right, we just need to remember all of the things. Okay, so number one, we need to go into UI and create event systems. Okay, what do we do with that? Nothing. All right, on here we need to add a component. We need to add something to this camera, and I can't remember what it is. I might have to go onto another scene to remember what it is that I need to add to it. It's just, yeah, there's this very complex rules that are needed in order to have a UI button to work. And I know one of them, and unfortunately, the way that I know it, there's been no learning process here. It's been almost like if you know that sort of, I mean, I dare say this Orwellian 1984 sort of feel of how do you do it? You just do it this way. Don't try and learn why you have to do it. I've just kind of learned that you have to do it. So let's just find out. I think every other scene has got it, and I just can't off the top of my head remember. So I'm just going to go into the title scene, main camera, physics 2D raycaster. That's what we needed. Okay, so let's go back into the episode scene. We want to add the physics 2D raycaster. Oh yeah. Hold on. Right. Okay. So I'm probably that looks like I might need to actually make a move shortly. I reckon I'm going to give myself 15 more mins. I've just got to text my friend. So at the moment, me and my friend, we're playing. Sorry, one sec. Let me just quickly respond. Yeah. So So what I want to do is so we've got the physics raycaster, we've got the box collider, and we've got this event systems. What does this do? I don't know, but if you don't have it, it doesn't work. Right. And we just need to put in a little bit of code just to check that it is that if you click on it, something does happen. So if we go scripts, episodes, yep, we'll have it on here, create C# script, yes, no, button, script. Cool, thank you for bringing that up. Yep. It's all right. It's all right, Microsoft Visual Studio. I haven't forgotten you. You don't need to remind me that you exist every time I create a new script. Okay, that's fine. So edit script, and here we're going to go using Unity Engine event systems, comma, I pointer down handler, and get rid of all this for the time being. Public void on pointer down, and it has to be exactly those words with those things. And then you need to have an argument, which is the pointer event data, even though it's not relevant. We're not going to refer to it, we're not going to need it at any point. And then we're just going to have a debug.log, and then just going to say I. Oh, fair play. Oh, cool. Cheers, man. Yeah, I'm going to have a quick test here to see if it works. But I'm going to be having some food soon, so I'm probably going to have to like call it. It's been a sort of shortish stream, but it's been nice though. I have been clicked. And I've got to remember, last time I was in a rush. Right, so I want to just see if we get a debug message as I click on this saying I have been clicked. Boom, yes. Okay, right, fantastic. Right, so that's good. I think if I go now that we've done that, we can actually get this to do something. So what we want is on the cutscene master script, we kind of want... Oh, I've got an idea. Yes. Oh, man. Oh, I tell you what, I love it. Okay, right. Okay. Let's... Yeah, because I'm going to probably have to go in about 10 minutes. I'm going to see if I can get all of this done in 10 minutes. So, scripts... 600. I've got an idea. Okay, right. So we're going to go into our. Did I actually start it? Yes, I have. Yeah, it started. Yeah, right. Okay. Master script. Right. Control F. Okay. All right. So we've got. I think about here, we're going to have a new public enum, which is going to be wait, yes, no. Okay, all right, and it's going to be wait, yes, no. This is actually, I'm pretty happy with this. This is going to be pretty clever, and we don't need a semicolon at the end, but for my own sanity, I want one. Okay. So now, when we're setting all this up, we're going to go public sprite renderer. Actually, we do want the transform as well. So public. So 8 minutes transform. Oh, I really hope we can get this done before 10 minutes because I probably will have to call. But thank you as well for redeeming the highlighted message. Public transform. No, base trans, sprite renderer, base SR, and then void away. Why is that not working? Void. Oh, okay. I might have messed something up here. Anyway, base trans equals get component transform, and base SR equals get component like a boss. Okay, public void summon. In fact, let's go we don't have much time, so I need to call upon this. Go, but we'll change that to summon. And we kind of want a boolean here. Bool, yes. And we're going to have a... that's going to be a lowercase. And then public bool is going to be yes. And we probably want a public bool, which is going to be a busy as well. So right here we're going to say yes equals yes. Okay, starting the coroutine, that is just busy and busy. Now we're going to start off by saying base trans dot local scale equals vector 3 dot 0 and switch yes, and we'll have a little thing. Actually, maybe we don't even need it. I don't think we need it actually. I think we're fine. Case true. Break. Aaron dot instance dot play ping pong continuously. Base SR. Resources dot load all sprites of. We'll get the path soon, but I need to remember to get that. Finishing sprite null and anim speed. Let's go 0.1f. Now we just need to get. That's fine. We just need to find out where we put our sprites. 5 minutes left. Okay. Resources, sprites. Let's go. Get out of here. Put it in the wrong place. Here we go. Copy path. Control V. We don't need any of that there. We can kind of go like that. And then go Control C, Control V. Except for this one, it's going to be false, and then this bit is going to be no. Then we now want to go int chum equals mover dot instance dot point to size base trans. We actually want new vector 3. Actually, no, there's different ways I can do this. Let's do it. Let's do it the way which makes more sense to me at the moment, and that's quicker. Vector 3.1 times by 5, and size amplification. Let's just do 1.25f, so it just kind of bounces a little bit, and that can be 0.25f. Point to size. I feel like we're missing one variable here. Oh, the time to take is, let's say 0.25f, so that's going to be nice and quick. And then let's chuck that in there. 3 minutes left, so we're waiting for that. And I think that's pretty much it. So also what we want is pointed down, cutscene. So this is going to be a bit of a test. Actually, I don't think I can do this in. I'm going to try. I'm certainly going to try. Public game object. This will be yes, no, button, go. over here, we want to say, we haven't actually created it yet, but we will do yes, no, button go equals resource request. Have I ever resources dot load game object, and now we're going to create a space for our new game object here. Come on, right, this bad boy here. Let's go add it to our friends over in the prefabs place, which is over here. Right. Is it episode stuff? Yep, sounds good. That's going to go over into here. We can delete that. We want to copy path. And we don't know the exact place to put it yet, but we probably have a little function here. So I can't do this in time. I think we just need to say public wait yes no, and we just call it wire that there, and we're going to have a public void create yes no. Yeah, private enumerator create yes no routine, start coroutine create yes no routine, parent toolbox, public ball, we'll say resoluting yes no, resoluting yes no, resoluting yes no equals true, spelled very badly. Resolute yes no equals false, and then we want to have, we don't actually know the exact point. We know that the x is like minus 7.5 and 7.5, but we don't know the rest. So let's just say over here we're going to have public yes no button script, yes script, and no script. Okay, yes script equals instantiate yes no button go. I'm gonna say 8. No, I'm going to say 0. Let's go 0. New. I know it's not that, but new vector 0 minus 7.5f. Let's go 2.0f. It's not 2.0f, and then quaternion.identity, because it makes perfect sense. You don't know what quaternion.identity means? You loser. Because we all know, we're all in this gang of people, but whenever we see quaternion.identity, we're thinking, yeah, good going. We all know what it means. Sorry, let me just check this in. Yeah. Right, dot get component yes no button script. Okay, I didn't quite make it. While oh yeah, actually no, we want to go yes script dot summon and true while yes script dot busy yield return null. And now we need to do the same again, but with the no script. So let's just change all these yeses to nos. No. That needs to be a no. And at this point here, we want to say yn equals wait yes no dot wait, and then while wyn dot no is equal to wait yes no dot wait yield return null. And then we're going to have at this point here switch yes case true cut scene management dot instant no dot. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. Hold on, I'm sure I made this an instance. Why is it not coming up? Cutscene master script dot instance dot wyn equals dot yes. What's wrong with that bit of code? What are we missing here? An object. Oh, public static. That's what we needed. Public static. There we go. That was just, yeah, that's part of making it a thing. So I didn't actually save that. So now we've got that saved. We're not getting the error message. Yeah. So that's break and Control C, Control V. That'll be false. B dot no. And then we want to have public void unsummon private enumerator summon teen. Start coroutine. And I think we kind of want to do oh, I want to rename that to summon routine. Oh. Didn't need to press escape. Rename summon routine. Control C. In fact, let's just copy all of this and just delete the things that we don't need. Control C, Control V, we don't need that, and we don't need that, and we do want that, but we want to go to pointer size, and that's just going to be vector 3.0. And then we probably want to go destroy game object. Okay, so if we did create this, we want to say create yes no, and then say while resoluting yes no, we can have yield return null, and then I just kind of want to say debug.log dot toString plus space was pressed. Okay. Right, is this going to work? I think whether it works or not, I'm probably going to have to call it here, but this has been absolutely brilliant. Right, yeah, again, testing a lot of things, trying something out, trying to do quite a lot of things in one go. That's a good start. We've obviously missed something here. Oh yeah, that's what we're missing. That could have gone horribly wrong, actually, but we didn't put that in. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. So we copy path. Chuck that in there. No, I didn't know. So we've got hold of this game object. Let's just double check. Oh yeah, so we don't need that anymore. And we're setting that to weight. Well, that is equal to weight. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's give it another shot. Right. Has it actually created them? What have I missed? Is there any error messages? It's very weird. Oh no, hold on, I think we need to click again. Ah yes, oh I've obviously created them at the wrong place. And so that needed to be there, and that needed to be false. Okay, alright, well it didn't work first time. Didn't really work second time either. It took multiple attempts, but here we go. Right. So would you like da-da-da? Yes, no. And then if I do no. Oh, I haven't actually unsummoned them at any point, but that's fine. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'll stick with that. Right, we are going to probably call it there. Thank you very much for sticking around. I know I've got some food waiting for me, so I'm going to have to make a move. But this has been absolutely a nice, fun, jolly stream. I'll have a little look, see who I can raid and right. Let's have a look. Ah, yeah. Control C. Right, anyway, this has been brilliant, and I'll see you guys a little bit. Sorry I had to cut it so short.